Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson in episode 2 of our series on flawed peaking concepts. And one of the things I think that's really important to follow up on, Adam, with our first episode on the actual expectation route of where you should be pointing all of your effort is the actual degree of effort. What's that week going to look like? And I think a lot of people, I think more people, at least in my experience, think it's a time to kind of skate. You know, you get to the end of the week, you get to Wednesday or Thursday, you're done training, you got to relax the muscle tissue and all that. Yet at the beginning of the week, it could be that still old school concept of really being extreme. So massive depletion, working your whole body over the course of 2 or 3 days, carb depletion. But we'll get to the whole depletion of carbs, water, sodium, and all that in a little bit. But just in terms of what this week should look like with effort, with how much training, with that kind of a mindset, how do you set up your clients, and what do you like that week to look like from just an effort perspective?
Yeah, if you're ready early, we do want to be pulling back on intensity and I'll pull back their RPE on their training. That's definitely key there. You want to de-stress the body as much as possible. You can actually hold some water or just lose some graininess. Let's say it's a women's physique or men's bodybuilder, if you just break down the muscle tissue too much. So you really just want a good pump and some glycogen turnover. So you want to use some glycogen and then refill it. And so pulling back on intensity is very important. Not all peaks you're going to be able to do that. You might, have maybe spilled someone over the weekend, and you might say, hey, Monday and Tuesday, we need to do a little more cardio. So I won't say that that's necessarily wrong by doing it that way. That's just being dynamic in your approach. But I did have an interesting situation where I had a girl inquire with me. Her show's this weekend. She looks great, but she was doing 30 minutes of cardio a day, and her coach had her 2 hours start on Saturday and Sunday. And I just think that he has this is what peak week is always like, because I can't think of any time with a ready client I would have someone do that much cardio. Um, you
Yeah.
know, and it looks like it's going to be that way all week. So it's just going to the extreme. We're going to get as lean and as small as possible. And this girl's an ectomorph, so she's obviously going to suffer and probably be pretty flat. And I told her, I said, let your coach finish your work. You've got another show in 4 weeks. I said, let's sign up together. Then that'll give us the best experience that way. So then I have time to learn a little more about you. And also, I don't feel right taking someone last minute before a show.
Yeah, that's always a little risky for you and that client. But to your point about just doing too much, I think a lot of people miss the element that judges are going to see you for a very brief period of time on contest day. How you look that day is what matters most. So don't get so tangled up in the formulaic nature of, am I doing this right? Am I supposed to do this on this day? And then what's supposed to happen the next day? If you have to, I mean, if you have a lot of body fat to lose, and just losing another pound and a half or so is going to give you a better look on contest day, that may be where you have to gamble a bit. But it's often the case that, as you're describing, Adam, if you are pulling back a little bit, you're recovering better, then even if you don't lose quite as much body fat that way, because in reality, like, what is a half a pound or pound of body fat really going to do? If it causes you to be so flat and exhausted that you're now still not quite as lean, but also losing a lot of potential muscle fullness. So sometimes taking the peak week in stride, just as you would normally, no matter what your condition is, you will probably still look your best at that condition. But I do understand, like you said, Adam, some people will be pushing a little bit, into the week, depending on where they are. But I also think some people make, as I mentioned, the wrong decision to relax too much. Then they
Mhm.
get in those final days, they've traveled, they've been sitting on a plane or in a car, not really working out. and you just get this little bit of residual water retention because you're not in that dynamic physical state. You're not using glycogen. There's not that turnover. You're not even sweating that much in your subcutaneous, pores. And I think that can be a limiting factor as well. So I like to see people stay active right up to the end, but not with, massive workouts, getting sore and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we see that a lot on contest day or close to contest day where, someone just looks a little soft. And usually we fix that with activity because usually it's a little bit lower that tail end of the week.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, stay tuned. We got 3 more episodes in this series on flawed peaking concepts. See you next time.